Yo, yo. Yo. Let's go blue. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Hope everybody had a good Christmas, good holiday season. It's almost that time. It's almost that time, y'all. Angel Martinez, go blue from LA, California. Connor Young says, go blue, let's go. Jeremy Turner, what's good, bro? What's going on? Nate Does said, Nate the Great says, in Chicago right now. Help me. Go blue from Charlotte, North Carolina. Go blue nation. Let's go. What y'all thoughts? What's the thoughts? Y'all ready for a win, or y'all think it's gonna be a dog fight? What y'all thinking? Let me know what y'all thinking. Cause go blue from Dayton, Chris Clips. Honestly, I'm pretty confident in what we got going on in the game. I'm pretty confident because their style is not something we're not used to. So their style, Georgia's style of play is Big Ten play, like what I've said before. So I'm pretty confident in what we can do. It's just it's the unknowns. Somebody making a bonehead mistake or something like that. That's really what worries me about this game is the unknowns. Somebody drops a punt or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Things like that that you can't account for when you're just picking the teams. But I'm always nervous about these games. Like close games, I'm about to have a heart attack. Like Penn State, Rutgers, Michigan State. I almost had a heart attack in each one of those games. Slim says, I think our team is on a mission. I expect us to pull it off. It won't be an upset to me. And that's facts. And that's true. It ain't an upset. If we beat them, it ain't an upset because we're already ahead. We're ranked higher than they are, for one. And two, we've watched this team all year. So we know what the mantra is for the team this season. So that's the thing right there. We know what the mantra is. This team feels disrespected because of last year, and they ought to prove a point. They ought to prove this is different. Angel Martinez says, do you think Michigan's running game might work better on the outside sweeps versus running down the middle with those huge D tackles? The run game, to me, to have the run game successful like we want to be, it's about giving a lot of that eye candy. So what I mean by that is bringing that jet sweep all the time. And I always talk about this, bringing that jet sweep so they have to respect it. One of their defenders has to look at it, and if not, other players are going to look at it. So bringing that misdirection type of stuff, having multiple backs in the backfield, so they have to account for him. Even if he's just faking it this way and then the other running back takes it that way, they have to respect that running back on the fake. So it's just doing a lot of misdirection and making them take false steps. What I mean by false steps is the play's going this way but a misdirection went that way and you fake like this. the defender goes like this and then he reacts, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that one half a second, that's a second, that's a half a second that your blockers and your running back can, get to the hole or get to the outside. But I think they got to do some of everything. You don't want to just not try to run it up the middle. Still got to try to make them account for it. But I believe those outside zone plays with Eric All pulling, I think that's the money play because when you run that play, the defense, they can't just bear down on it because he can still go outside. And they can't just barrel outside to try to stop it because he can still cut back inside. I think that's the money play. And as we see, it's been working. Since they started running it, it's money. No matter if it's Haskins, no matter if it's Corum or who's back there, it's a money play. Let's see. Harbaugh going to have this team rolling, Scott says. Jordan Sweeney says, I feel we're more complete than them. You could be right on that. You definitely could be right. Chris Clip says, we will get it done. Yes, sir. Aria Ferber says, I think we're going to come out balanced, to be honest. A little bit of run and pass. And with a team like Georgia with this type of defense, and everybody's going to expect us to come out running it, trying to run it down their throat and establish the run. It's most likely we're going to try to throw on early downs, whether that's just drop back, Cade just dropping back, or whether that's off of play action or the RPOs, the run pass option. Aria Ferber says, you feel confident we're going to be able to complete some deep throws on them? That's the big question, I would say. Now, the last four games, I'd say, when we've thrown it deep, we've pretty much completed it every time. Like the efficiency has went through the roof the last 3-4 games. When we try to throw 20 yards or further, we're completing it most of the time. So that's the worry that, okay, we've been on a break. So, they might be a little rusty because this, practice isn't the game. So, they could be a little rusty, but that's the question. Like, I'm confident in that we could get deep, but Cade still got to put it on the money. You know what I mean? So that's the $1 million question. I know we can get deep, but will we be able to complete it? Let's see. Need Gaddis to keep up the creative play calls like the last 2 weeks. I've been loving it. Yeah, Gaddis has been on a roll, and it's big in this game, it's paramount. This game, we win, and against Bama or whoever wins on that side, it's going to be paramount. He has to continue to call in great games. He can't get bogged down and start calling the same plays and things like this unless it's working. Now, if it's working, you go ahead and keep calling it. But if things aren't working, you can't be stagnant and get back into that run up the middle stuff. Like you can't do that. Let's see. Rod Anderson 34 says we can hit him up with some crossing routes. I mean, crossing routes are always money. Those are always money. Slim says we need to up the tempo to gas out Davis. That's a fact. And I was telling somebody this on another video. They have to run tempo. In football, when you see somebody having trouble with something, you have to go to it. And then, especially with all this time off and they're just now getting to Florida to practice, Jordan Davis, he ain't going to be in great shape when this game is played because you're getting all this time off. So you want to go tempo. That is something that they really need to do. Like the weather's not going to be a factor like humidity or nothing like that because I stay in Florida and it's not a problem right now. But you want to go tempo just because he's just huge. He's not used to being on the field for multiple downs. He's a first down, second down guy. Then he comes off the field. So if it's a passing down, he comes off the field. So you just want to keep going tempo just to keep him on the field, tire him out. You have to, when you see somebody making mistakes and errors. You have to go to them until they show you they can't. They figured it out. Like when we were switching dudes in and out all the time, teams kept going to it until they saw we fixed it. Michael Burton says the pass has to set up our run. That's a fact. And that's why I was saying we probably gonna pass on first downs more this game. Whether that's a swing pass or screens, anything like that. Jay Marion says, I think this is the changing of the guard in Michigan's favor. Me too. I mean, all of us that have been watching, been Michigan fans, we can say, I mean, it's obvious, but we can say this don't look like a normal Michigan team from the last few years, even the 2016 team, even the 2016 team. So this is just a different feel. The program with them jumping around, the younger coaches, the players' influence, the leaders that we have on this team with Aiden Ross, Brad Hawkins, and Dax, Hassan. It's just a lot of leadership. Vastardis, it's a lot of leadership and dudes that wanted to change the culture and that wanted to be there. Even young dudes like JJ, when he wasn't barely playing, still after games going to put in the work. Him and Donovan Edwards, knowing that they were going to be bigger factors later in the season. Like not getting down or I'm not going to play. No, let's go after the game. Let's go. We didn't get to play today. Let's go put in some work. Let's go get better. Big John Stud, I live in Florida too, Central where it's 70s, but Miami is supposed to be 80s with humidity. I just don't see it being that big of a factor, bro. The game is going to be played at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. No, D Brown says, no, Johnny, we don't need to pass on first down. We have not done that all year. We have to stick to our identity all year. Why change now? I mean, it's not a real change, bro. We've done that sometimes where we've passed on first downs. But there's a difference between a pass. There's a difference. You can pass downfield early in downs. Now, that's something we really haven't done that much. We've done it sometimes, but not that much. But swing passes, that's a pass, but it's an extension of the run game. So things like that, those are extensions of the running game. Screens, swing passes, reverses, things like that. Those are just extensions of the run game. So it doesn't just because you pass on first down, it's not the normal downfield pass, if that makes sense. But I mean, what you're saying is right too. You go with what got you here, running it consistently, first down, and doing what you do. And then, play action off of it like we do. But this year we're doing different things. So we don't know what Gaddis has up his sleeve. I expect Donovan Edwards to play a big part in this game because he can catch out of the backfield. So you put Donovan Edwards in the backfield with Haskins or Corum, and he's running wheel routes and running flat swing passes and things like that. All that the defense has to account for. So I expect us to be very intentional in the game plan with this much time to prepare. Chris Clip says, if you don't mind, who do you have for the Alabama-Cincinnati game? I got Bama. Like, I just don't see Bama making it to the playoff and losing to Cincinnati. They've escaped. They escaped from Auburn. Then they beat Georgia. Like, honestly, I think they're going to do Cincinnati in. Honestly, I think they're going to do them in bad. Michigan man says, Georgia fans talking a lot of junk. LOL, we'll see who the better team is on 12/31. Yeah, they talking a lot of trash because they in the SEC, so they just automatically think they're better than a Big Ten team. Big John says, Rusty, he's had 15 practices to work the deep ball. K will be on. The thing, practice, and this is something that we all should know. Practice isn't the game, bro. Practice isn't the game. Practice, you're going against players that you know their weaknesses because they're on your team. You're more comfortable going against your own defense. So when the game comes, when the playoff lights come on, you in the playoff, prime time, late night, going against Georgia's defense. You're not going against your defense. There's a lot of things that could come into play. So rust could be a factor because practice is not the game. Practice ain't the game, bro. I tell you that right now. Anybody that's played football will tell you practice is not the game. But I'm hoping he's not rusty. But I just account for things like this because I think more like a coach. So he could be rusty for whatever reason, or he could be nerves. Like you never know. Like Cade, nobody on the team has been in this position playing in the playoff. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a month. It's been a month since they played. So it's possible he could be rusty, bro. Not saying that he will be. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Let's see. D Brown says we got to make Georgia prove they can stop our run game. Oh, we're going to run it for sure. We're going to run it for sure. We're going to run it for sure. Even if we do throw it on early downs, we still going to run it 40 some times in the game. You can throw on first down and then run second down and third down. Or you could run it first down and second down and throw it on third down. You know what I'm saying? The number's still going to come out to 40 some runs unless we have trouble, and then they're going to have to go to the pass more. But we're going to run it. Whether we throw it on first down or don't, we still going to get 40 some runs in the game. Michael Burton says the tight ends are our friends. That's a fact. Shoemaker and Eric All, you right about that. And Georgia kind of blitzes a lot. They do a lot of stunts and stuff like that. So Eric All doing and Shoemaker doing those delayed routes where they block and then they come off the line late. Those could be big. Big Brother says Corum will be huge in the run game. I'm hoping so. He should be. With that speed, Corum's always he's always one play away, one tackle away, missed tackle away from going to the house, like always. Let's see. Papa Son says, I'm just glad Don Brown is gone. We could have been in this situation if it wasn't for Don Brown. That's a fact. And I said that before. Like he held back 2018 and 2019's teams. He held them back. Michigan Man says they're making a big deal about the comment Aiden said when he was interviewed. He just meant the weather won't be a factor. He's going to do what he's been doing all year with no disrespect to Georgia. That's what I'm saying. The weather's not going to be a real factor in this game. It's just not. The game is for the weather to be a factor right now in Florida. The game would have to be played at like 12 or like 2 o'clock or something. Like it'd have to be an early game. The fact that it's played at 8 o'clock, the humidity level is going to go down, even if it is that humid, which it's not right now. The temperature is going to drop at 8 o'clock. It's going to drop. It's not going to be that hot. Ronnie Virgil says Roman got that sneaky game where opposing corners look at him and say, little guy won't be a problem. Then you blink and he's wide open behind you. Yeah, I mean, all the receivers can fly, especially Roman Wilson. That's for sure. Peanut Butter Hero says, poor UGA, the SEC East gave them some false confidence. That's all it is, SEC bias confidence. They confident just because they in the SEC. D Brown says we got to make Georgia prove they can stop our run. I read that one. Papa's son says all we have to do is do what we do on defense and follow Bama blueprint. Georgia didn't play nobody until Bama, and look what happened. What up, Big Discussion 76? He says, what up, J.O.? They've got those big tight ends, but we've got the better quarterbacks. Go Blue. That's a fact. They do have huge tight ends. They have huge tight ends. So that's going to be something to look out for is their tight ends. Besides Brock Bowers, I'm hearing the other tight end is huge also. So Slim says the main thing about this team is they are not scared. You punch us and we punch back. Totally different mindset and approach than the 2016 team. That's a fact. This team is battle tested. They don't give up. They've just got good leadership, honestly, and good coaching. So they don't just give up, and they ready for it. They ready for dog fights. Papa Son says Bearcats will beat Bama. I believe that one when I see it. I believe that one when I see it because I do not think they're gonna beat them. The big brother says Alabama will struggle, then pull away in the fourth quarter. Honestly, if Cincinnati can hang around, it might be that game type of game. But if Bryce Young gets rolling early, it might get ugly fast for them. If Bryce Young gets rolling early, I think it's gonna get ugly fast for Cincinnati. They let them get 14, 21 or something fast. Oh, it's about to be an ugly game. And I'm just going off the fact that I know who Bama is. Those dudes, they live for this moment. They went to Alabama for this moment. Like they ain't go to Alabama just to win the SEC. They went to Alabama to get a ring. Like that's literally why you go to Alabama is to win a ring. And now they in the playoff. Them dudes ain't Cincinnati. Man, we finna trounce these folks and be in the championship. That's just how I think about it. But Tufon Production says UGA is starting the wrong QB, and it's sad because their defense is elite. I'm hearing this now. What I'm hearing is what JT Daniels is. I'm hearing that the team doctors cleared him, but his personal doctor did not clear him. So during the Bama game when they were losing, I think we all were like, okay, he's gonna put in JT Daniels, and JT Daniels didn't warm up or anything. He was looking like, I know I'm not going in. And so that's what I'm hearing is he got cleared by the team doctors, but his personal doctor did not clear him. And him and Kirby Smart have kind of been getting into it about it. That's what I'm hearing. So Fernando Apollon says, as an OSU fan, I only want y'all to beat Georgia so my homeboys shut up with that SEC talk. They think they so superior. Good luck. Yeah, they do. They think they just think they better than everybody. And I go off of what you've actually done. Like Georgia's been to the playoff. They've been to the championship, but they haven't really won anything. Every year they got top 5 recruiting classes, if not number 1. They still cannot beat Bama when they need to, when it matters the most. So it's like, yeah, y'all have been in the playoff and done some, made a championship, but y'all haven't won anything. So y'all acting like y'all Alabama. Alabama has won titles, title after title after title after title after title. Y'all not that. For some reason, they think they're that. Y'all ain't that. You're like, so why are we supposed to be just scared of y'all? Especially when y'all play a Big Ten style. Big John Stud says Georgia takes a LB and they run him into your center on almost every run play. Sometimes they double it up with LB in the middle. Reminds me of old MSU. I've heard that before. I think that was you who was saying that in my comments before. Peanut Butter Hero, since he could beat Alabama State or UAB, but not the University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa. And that's what I'm thinking. I just don't see it. Y'all, they played the best team they played was Notre Dame. They won that handily. Like I think it was like 28-12 or something like that. I mean, Notre Dame is kind of good, is good, but they're not that good this year. They struggled with quite a few teams themselves. And Georgia, I mean, Notre Dame ain't Bama, and I've seen them. I saw you Cincinnati struggle with other teams that are better, that are way worse than even Notre Dame. But we gonna find out. That's the thing about that's why they play the game. Jordan Sweeney says Georgia good but overrated. Bama with no Mechie is different. If Cincy can keep it close, they can pull it out. Yeah, that's the thing. They can keep it close, but this is the reason I'm not uh I'm not big on the Mechie thing. Like that's their only receiver. We have to remember who we're talking about. We're talking about Alabama. So Mechie was a beast. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but let's remember who we're talking about. We're talking about Alabama. I'm sure they got other 5-star dudes that are fast and been hungry because when you on Alabama, you got to you hungry because you you'll have to sit and wait your time if you're just not a stud. So I'm sure it's somebody else that's hungry, like, yes, finally, I get my shot. Thank you. Mechie's out. Oh, my time to shine. So that's why I'm not like, okay, it's Alabama. They got 5 stars on the bench. Like they got 5 stars that's waiting and licking their chops to get in the game. And I give Bama their respect because they've earned it. Papa Son, Bearcats going to whoop on Bama. Bama luck ran out. Yeah, we gonna see. We gonna see. The big brother says Cade is a game winner. I trust in him. Yeah, I got trust in Cade. Me saying that Cade might be rusty, that's not saying I don't trust him. That's just knowing the factors of the game. Anybody could come out rusty in after a month off because practice is not the game. Don't let nobody tell you it is. You can say I practice like it's the game, but it's still not the game. Ronnie Virgil's 15 of the last 21 natty winners might have been from the SEC, but none of those are Georgia. They haven't won a chip since Jimmy Carter was president, so they need to pipe down. And that's my thing. For some reason, they act like they've got rings to validate anything that they're talking about. D. Brown says, I'm telling y'all now, we're going to embarrass Georgia. Corum going to break one, and Hassan's going to be a beast. Watch. I hope you're right, bro. I hope you're right. And that could very well happen because Michigan has something that travels where no matter who you play, pass rush and a running game. That's what they say. Coaches say. What travels? Pass rush and a running game. Defense travels, and so does the running game. Papa San says Georgia QB sucks and don't like pressure and being hit. Exactly. And that's why I say Aiden and Ojabo can give us a chance against Georgia, Bama, Ohio State. It don't matter. They gonna give you a chance on defense. Rod Anderson, 34, says this game could be all about. Y'all done jumped. It done jumped on me. Let me see if I can find where I left off. Let's see. D. Brown says Miami is beautiful this time of year. Y'all relax. Exactly. Like it's not that hot down here right now. Papa San, Georgia haven't played no one good until Bama. Look what happened. Georgia defense is similar to MSU defense coach. Tuck was their defensive coordinator. Lewis Papp says about 75 for game time. Yeah, and that temperature is going to drop even more. Because, games like this, they don't start right on time. Says 7:30, it'll probably start like almost 8 o'clock. Chris Clip says, who has Georgia played that runs as much as we do? Nobody. Big John says SEC bias is well deserved though. If we don't like it, then we need to win. I mean, SEC bias isn't Bama bias is well deserved. LSU bias is well deserved. Who out of those two teams has won a championship in the SEC? I'll wait. I ain't gonna wait that long because I'll be waiting forever because nobody has won it. SEC bias is what Florida when Urban was there. Florida ain't been about nothing since. So it's SEC bias is really Bama and LSU sometimes. So Georgia don't scare us. But I feel what you're saying. But to me, that SEC bias is Bama bias. Jay Marion says, I doubt Georgia's DC is being fully focused on Michigan's offense with taking the Georgia job. They're saying one of their assistant defensive coordinators, he's gotten the full job. I can't remember his name. What up, Gold? He says, salute, brother. Yeah, and now we're playing in the Orange Bowl for possibly an actual championship. Todd Fortune says, you guys are very confident. Yeah, we are. What are we supposed to be scared of? Now, if y'all played a style that was maybe something for us to be worried about, but let's say if y'all play like Bama and y'all throw it more and y'all play that style, that don't scare us this year because we already played a team, Ohio State, with the best offense in the nation, the best pass offense. So that don't scare us. Y'all, Georgia plays a Big Ten style. Why would we be scared of that? We're in the Big Ten. We just won the Big Ten. So we confident because y'all play a style we're used to. When you're comfortable, you're comfortable. You're comfortable with the style. Why wouldn't we be comfortable? Y'all play Big Ten style football. Two-for-one Production says, since he has multiple NFL players on defense and an NFL QB that can definitely win. We gonna find out. We gonna see. I don't think they can will, but hey, because just that since he has a defense, well, people saying they have a defense. Alabama plays defense too. Just like I've been telling Georgia fans, Michigan plays defense too. Bama plays defense too, and we know who their coach is. You taking Luke Fickell or you taking Nick Saban? I'm taking Saban. I'm just gonna be 100. And you can take Luke Fickell if you want to. I'm taking Saban. Angel Martinez says, was remembering when Harbaugh and Stanford put up 50-some points on SC, and SC was hot back in those days. Harbaugh is battle tested. He got this. Yeah. Since he got a good secondary, Cincy 31, Bama 20. Wow. That's okay. If you think they gonna win, hey, they might. I mean, I ain't got a dog in the fight. I just think Bama is gonna beat them. Michigan man says, I honestly don't think Georgia has seen an offense as explosive as Michigan, but definitely this will be Michigan's toughest test. Yeah, I mean, the style that Georgia plays on defense in their strength, their front seven. And our strength is the run game. So, it's going to be, we're going to figure out who's better at this. Who's better? Our offensive line or their defensive line? I don't really put it on the backs. A run game is only as good as your offensive line is. Jay Marion says Michigan is playing with house money at this point. That's fact. Big John Stud says Alabama hasn't been able to block anyone up front, not named Georgia, though. That's true. I can't say that ain't true. The big brother says, I'm not nervous or confident for this game. I'm just excited in full honesty. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I'm somewhat confident, but I'm just ready to watch it. Like I'm just ready to watch it, really. Michigan man, Georgia has a better defense than Ohio State. Yeah, nobody's saying that. When we're talking about Ohio State, I'm talking about their pass game. Michigan, Ohio State has the number one pass game. Nate the Great says Wolverine has a bigger bite than a bulldog. Bama has no Mechie, Advantage Cincy, Sauce Gardner, and Kobe Bryant. Legit. I live in Cincy. A lot of y'all really picking Cincinnati to beat Bama. I don't see it. Y'all might be right. I mean, I don't, like I said, I ain't got a dog in the fight. I just don't see them beating them. Well, hey, you might be right. Big John Stud says JT Daniel plays Michigan's wins easy, in my opinion. Yeah, he don't impress me. Neither one of their quarterbacks really impressed me when I was going through the film. Todd Fortune says, "Me fool, do you have a ticket on U of M for the title at 66-1?" Zach Kruger says Stetson Bennett quietly averages 10 yards per completion. Daniel Shavira says Georgia's taking the cross Miss MS to another level. Georgia student X, the M on the pure Michigan sign, then another one went to the UM campus, crossed the big M and some block M's. I mean, I don't know why they doing that. I mean, I guess it's funny for TikTok and Instagram. It's gonna go viral, but that ain't gonna help them. That ain't gonna help them in the game. You feel me? Let's see. The big brother. We got to live in the moment and enjoy it. This is a great time to be a Wolverine. That's facts. That's facts. It's a great time, but this team, I think they're realizing it. Like we got a chance to almost sneak up and win a national championship. Like I know you make your goals for the season. You lost to Michigan State. You lost to Michigan State. Got refocused. Beat Ohio State, and then when you beat Ohio State, oh wait a minute, we done beat Ohio State. We going to the Big Ten championship. Let's go. Let's blow out Iowa, and we in the playoff. Now we can sneak up out of nowhere and win a title. Like LSU. When LSU and Joe Burrow won the title, they snuck up. Yeah, they were killing people, but nobody thought they were going to be that good. Like when the season started, nobody thought that LSU was going to be killing people like that, and and then they messed around and won the title just like that. Like, let's see. Rod Anderson says OSU has a better offense than Georgia. That's a fact, and that's why I'm saying like Michigan's confidence as far as fans and the players after beating OSU, I think that gave them just a ton of confidence. Like we can play with anybody. We can play and beat anyone. Nate the Great says Michigan players have the spirit of the Wolverine in them. Ronnie Virgil says they best Notre Dame by 1 point. Papa Son, since he has one of the best corner duo in the country. Jamison Williams, one is Bama's best receiver. He has over 1,000 yards. That's true. Since he has 3 NFL DBs, they can handle Bama's wide receivers. Kiki Hardman says, "Do you think that having 3 weeks off from playing will affect how we play?" It could. And honestly, Michigan was playing its best ball around the Big Ten championship. So having a month off, it can affect your execution and things like that. So I honestly I wish we could have played next week and played Georgia, But the good thing is, and with everything, there's a good thing and there's a bad thing. The bad thing is you could lose some of that momentum and come in a little rusty. The good thing is all those players that had like Corum, he's back 100%. those young dudes that might have been wondering about the scheme or had mistakes. RJ Moden, Rod Moore, uh, Donovan Edwards, JJ McCarthy, all these dudes, Colson, Hill Green, all these dudes can get more comfortable in the system. With an extra month to practice, all these players can get more comfortable because we play a lot of young dudes. So all these dudes can get more comfortable that extra practice time. So it helps those young players, which we play a lot of them on defense at least. And then the two players that we play are that are in and do like Andrell Anthony, because he said he had problem with the system earlier, so that he gets more comfortable. So those dudes on offense, and JJ and Donovan, because that's big because we do a lot of scheme with those dudes. So JJ and Donovan can come in and the playbook is bigger. They've had more time to implement plays that Georgia will not be ready for. Papa San says Michigan 35, Cincy 17 in championship. Okay. Mechie is not even a 5-star. Venice Blue Dev says go blue. Issa Fromm says, tell us where you got that college football playoff shirt that you had all the other day. Gotta cop it. I got that off of Fanatics. And it's a cool little shirt. It's got the playoffs emblem right here, but on the back, it's got the playoff bracket. So it's got Michigan, Georgia, and Cincy Bama on the back of it. The only thing I don't like, it's not dry fit. It's just a regular cotton shirt. You know what I'm saying? So it's a cool shirt, but I thought it was dry fit. I like to wear dry fit shirts, but it was a cool shirt, and it kept popping up on my Facebook and on my Instagram and everywhere. Like they just knew I was gonna buy it. Like they knew I was gonna buy it. They just kept popping that stupid shirt up everywhere. Every time I get on Facebook or somewhere, it's popping up. It's just popping up. So after a while, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna buy the shirt because it's a cool looking shirt. So that's how it happened. Let's see. Daniel Shavira says, I think the pressure is higher on Smart to win this game than Harbaugh. Oh, yeah, the pressure is on for him because Harbaugh, his pressure came off this year somewhat because he's done what he hasn't done. He beat Ohio State, made the playoff, and won at Penn State, the road game. Everybody was scared. So he's done stuff that he hasn't done. Now, Georgia, top 5 recruiting classes every year, even going back to Mark Richt. They've been top 5 recruiting classes every year. They've been to the championship, been to playoffs, can never win it. So it's time for him to win the big game, the championship. So he's got pressure to win the championship. And if he loses to us, it's going to be a bunch of Georgia fans. They're going to be like, you lost to Michigan. They're going to be talking bad. This Michigan team was 2-4 last year, and he loses to them in the playoff. They're going to let him have it. So it's a lot of pressure on him. The big brother says football is really all about blocking and tackling when it comes down to it, which this team does very well. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. You preach it. Let's see. Jordan Sweeney says, side note, we love Chris Evans here in Cincy. He should play more over Perini at least. Or Perrine. I don't know how you said that. Issa Fromm says, beating the top 2 SEC teams to win the championship would be legendary. And it would. Nobody can doubt us. If we beat both of them, nobody can doubt us or doubt Michigan. Let's see. Schoolie says, go blue. Glad to see a fellow Michigan YouTuber who loves the team just as much as me. Love. Amazing blue. Shout out to you, Schoolie. Dadofo Dado5 says, "What is your opinion? How many yards rushing and passing will Michigan get?" That I don't. That I can't tell you on that now, because if I go back and look and want to go off of the best defense we played, which is Wisconsin. Uh, I think in against Wisconsin, I think we had maybe 125, maybe 150 yards rushing with like a Cade. Cade probably had like 200 yards. So we didn't run the ball well against Wisconsin. And so we didn't run the ball well against Wisconsin. But the thing that we did do is we got deep plays to the wide receivers. And that was off the flea flicker. That was Roman Wilson on like a 34, like a 40-yard pass where he just came back and got it. And we got a fumble on like on Wisconsin's like 5-yard line. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know what rush like, or because sometimes it matters more than others. Like if I told you we only rushed for like 125 yards against Wisconsin, you probably wouldn't think we won that game. So I'm not sure. That's a question I can't really answer. But for us to win, I would say we're gonna need 100, at least 150 rushing, and Cade's gonna have to throw for at least about 225 or more. Now, if we run for 200 or something, then Cade's passing yards can go down. So, as long as you're getting that yardage. Let's see. Daniel Shavira says, if we had Don Brown right now, we could guarantee an L this weekend, but thankfully we don't have him and have a shot to win with a better scheme. Oh yeah, if we had Don Brown, we might have lost to Ohio State. Honestly, it would have been a shootout. It wouldn't have been us 42 to 27. It would have been probably 45 to 42 or 50 to 48 or something like that. It would have been a shootout. Auburn, LSU, Bama have all won multiple natties in last 10 years. Huh? Auburn ain't won no multiple natties. Auburn won with Cam Newton. That was more than 10 years ago. How long has Cam Newton been in the league? Yeah. So if I give you, Cam's been in the league, 10 years? That's one title. Auburn didn't win another title besides that. If they did, I must have missed it. LSU won with Joe Burrow. Their last title before that was Les Miles, one of his first years. Now they went back to the title, but they lost to Bama. So the last 10 years, I believe LSU has one, Auburn has one, and Bama has like 3 or 4. Bobby Dunn says, imagine watching this as an Ohio State fan. Alex Heron says, what's up? Big Ten Media Group, my Michigan brother. I'm from Jackson, Michigan. Lisa Sims says there are people who thinks that Cincinnati is going to be able to be competitive against Bama. We will see. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I don't see it, but some people are saying Cincinnati will. I just don't see it. Daniel Shavir says, Mr. Kennedy says the one who said we would never, ever beat them. We're getting the Ohio State, Michigan back and forth. Jake Ackerman, the videos you have made have been hilarious. My favorite was the Jim beating up Day and Happy Gilmore. I'm glad some of y'all like them. I didn't know if people were gonna like those videos, but I make them and then I see if how funny it is to me, or I'll show my nephew or show my homeboys and see how they do it, and then I'll post it. Peanut Butter Hero says they throwing him to the fire in Carolina and got benched yesterday. They doing Cam pretty bad. It's about time for him to retire, honestly. Let's see. Catalsha Kennedy says Michigan will never beat the Buckeyes again. Enjoy it while you have it, Michigan fans. Well, we're gonna see, because it's a changing of the tide in Columbus. See, y'all had Urban Meyer, who is one of the greatest college football coaches ever. Recruiting and in game, he's a beast. So now you got Ryan Day, and this team, y'all team, is starting to become Ryan Day's teams. See, Urban Meyer's teams, you knew what they were going to do. They were going to run it down your throat. They were going to play action. They was going to run the quarterback, and they was going to be physical on defense. But see, Ryan Day, he gets pass happy. He gets pass happy. He forgets to run the ball. So you can change coaches. You forget to run that ball, you're going to have problems regardless, because it makes your team soft. So you can change the coaches. You forget to run that ball, you're going to have problems. Alex Heron Jr. says, what up, Johnny? Go Blue. Friday, can't wait. Man, I can't wait. I'm actually thinking about going down there if I can get some decent seats, because I'm not watching it from no nosebleeds, even though it'd be a great experience. But watching from the nosebleeds, it's just not a good watch. You got to watch the screen the whole time. You don't even watch the field because you're so high up. Big 10 or 810 News Media Group says Flint, Michigan in the house. Linda, your platform, go Blue. Justin Copeland says, tired of Georgia fans already. I stay in Georgia. All I hear is Michigan can't keep up and too slow. They haven't been watching us play. And that's the thing with a lot of these Georgia and SEC fans. They don't watch Michigan. So they don't know all the big plays we've done. Only thing they really know is 3 yards in a cloud of dust, Michigan running up the middle, and they know Aiden Hutchinson. That's all they know about us. They don't know anything else about us. Lisa Sims says the national championship game is in Indy this year, so it's going to be interesting to see if an SEC team has to come up north for once. Yeah, that would be interesting to see. The big brother says if we didn't settle for field goals against Wisconsin early, it would have been even more of a beatdown. That's a fact. That was the problem. That was the problem with Michigan early in the season, and a lot of us on podcasts and stuff like that, we were harping on it because it's that big of a deal. Because you have to get touchdowns, just like Penn State. We kick field goals, we lose that game. But we scored touchdowns, we won. We win. Ohio State, we kick some field goals, we lose that game. You have to get touchdowns. You kick field goals, you keep the other team in the game. Like, they made it down there 3 times. They kicked 3 field goals. So instead of having 21, they got 9. That's an 11-point difference. Let's see. Let's Toast Media says, don't sleep on Cincinnati. LOL, low key. Elliot Van Scoter says, prediction to the game, my guy. You got one. My prediction is probably whoever runs the ball better wins this game. And if, let's say, both teams stop the run, whoever passes it better. You know what I'm saying? On an offensive standpoint. Defense, whoever gets touchdowns in the red zone, I think wins. Whoever can get down there and get in the end zone the most wins the game. I mean, that's not something so insightful, but it's just how it is, because both of these teams play a similar style. We want to run the ball. We want to play action off of that. Defense, we want to stop the run, force you to pass so we can get after you with our pass rushes. Camaro Z28SS says Georgia has no business being in the playoffs. They lost their conference playoff to Alabama. The NCAA and the Mockingbird media have no shame. Let's Toast Media says going to the playoffs made the pressure harder on Jim. I'm not sure about that, bro. I think he's playing with house money at this point because as long as Michigan doesn't get blew out, he had a good season. If let's say Georgia beats Michigan, knock on wood. Let me knock on wood that don't happen. But let's say Georgia somehow beats Michigan, and it's a close game. That's nothing to be down about for Harbaugh. Yeah, you'd be disappointed that we lost, but if you just got beat by the better team that day, that's nothing to be disappointed about. I mean, it's disappointment, but it's nothing to be to like, it don't make it harder. So he's playing with house money because nobody expected us to make the playoff. That's the thing. Now, if you got expectations to making the playoff like Bama or Georgia, then you lose. You lose. It's like, oh, that's a lot of pressure. The pressure now that you on the hot seat or whatever. But Harbaugh's playing with house money because nobody expected us to be this far. So it's like, okay, if we lose, yeah, we had a dang good season. Nobody expected it. So I don't think he's getting more pressure for that. Let's see. Let's go down. Sam Stamos says Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, O tackle, Nicholas Petit, and all opting out of the Rose Bowl. I mean, it's Ohio State. They expect to be in the playoff. Going to the Rose Bowl don't mean nothing unless it's in the playoff. It's one of the playoff games for them. Papa Son says Wolverines had OSU in the head like Melvin had Tyrese and Baby Boy. Daniel Shavira says, if we get blown out, do you think it will erase the feeling of a successful season? It won't for me because I understand what actually happened. Now you're gonna have some fans that it may, but for the fans that do that, I almost think they're bandwagon fans. They jump back on the bandwagon. They weren't here for the whole ride. I think those are the fans that are going to be, oh, we got our same old Michigan. They're going to be saying that type of stuff. They never believed in the first place. They just jumped on the ride now that we in the playoff. Oh, Michigan in the playoff, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? But the people that have been here and went through this whole season rooting for this team, let's say if we somehow got blew out, this was a hell of a season. A hell of a ride. You got some monkeys off your back, and the future looks bright. So, for me, if that was to happen, this season was just a stepping stone in a learning experience. All right, we see now you know how it feels to beat Ohio State. You know how it feels to win the Big Ten championship. You know how it feels to make the playoff. Now, okay, next time we go back, we got to win the playoff and make the championship. You know what I'm saying? But I think this team right now is trying to get a ring for real. I think they're trying to seize this opportunity, especially a dude like Aiden Haskins, Josh Ross, Brad Hawkins, the starters, these seniors. They know, like, okay, I ain't gonna have this chance again. Now, let me go and make the most of it. I need to get this ring. I ain't got next year. A dude like Aiden, like I'm going pro. I ain't got next year. Josh Ross, I'm going pro and going to the draft. I ain't got next year. Brad Hawkins, he's like a 6-year senior. I ain't got next year. I need to get this ring this year. Ain't no tomorrow for me. Scott Elliott said, this game is the Ali Frazier fight. Can't wait. By the way, for you young guys, they were boxers. Issa Fromm says, LOL, whoever scores more will win. I mean, basically, but It's just this. It's such a similar game. Like, and this game could be like Penn State, us against Penn State. Honestly, where it's a close game, and whoever has the ball basically last wins. I mean, Penn State got it back, but they weren't. It wasn't much time, and they weren't consistent. You know what I'm saying? But it could be that type of game, 21-17. You know what I'm saying? A low scoring, like whoever makes the most mistakes loses. Whoever makes the most big plays wins. You know, but this type of game where you might not get a lot of possessions just because of the playing styles. Now, like teams like Ohio State and Bama, the systems they run, you get more possessions because they're passing all of the time. So incomplete pass, the clock stops. Running teams, you run the ball, regardless of if you ran it for a yard or 10 yards, the clock continues to run. Even if you get the first down, the clock stops momentarily, then it starts back. 810 News Media Group says, love your platform. I appreciate it. Papa Son says Ryan Day is the Don Brown of offense. He ain't that bad, bro. He ain't that bad. Let's Toast Media 989. All love from 810. Yes, sir. 989. That's where I grew up. That's that Saginaw, Bertrand, Frankenmuth area. Flint, all of that. Let's see where we at. Alex Heron says, what do you think about Deion Sanders in Jackson State? What I think about that is I think he's got a buzz. He's bringing some life to HBCUs. And, not only he's bringing in NFL coaches to coach there, which is going to help in recruiting and actually making these players better. But two, he's just building a huge buzz. Like, we got something going on here. That's what players like. And he's for the players. So he's trying to get these dudes as much money as he can and everything like that. So he's got something going. It's just how long is he going to stay? Issa Fromm says, how much time did you spend in Frankenmuth for Christmas growing up? I grew up in Frankenmuth, bro. Yeah, I grew up in Frankenmuth. So, yeah, I lived in Birch Run, but I went to Frankenmuth High School. I was born in Saginaw, Michigan. Lived in Saginaw until I was like 5 or 6 or something. And then my pops moved us to Birch Run because it's country. My pops is country, so he's a country boy. He wanted that land, which is smart. But, we moved out there and I went to Frankenmuth. Dad05 says, people don't realize we weren't supposed to be there. 2% chance, no pressure on this team. Exactly. Ain't no real pressure. We weren't supposed to be in the playoff. Jeremy H says the Dogs are going to dominate Michigan. What makes y'all think y'all going to dominate Michigan? Just because y'all have a run defense? Georgia fans just think they're going to dominate us because they have a rush defense. Like, that's the only thing that they're going to say. We got a rush defense. Our defense. Well, Michigan plays defense. Y'all offense ain't impressive, so I'm not sure why y'all think y'all don't have to play offense and y'all defense is just going to win y'all the game automatically. Our defense just has to show up and we're going to win. Well, it's a little more to the game than that. Big Farm says Michigan is going to look like the greatest show on turf and they smell blood. RIP Georgia, go blue. Where's Michigan Man Ray at? I ain't seen Michigan Man Ray in about 3 years. Papa San says, you mean a second ring? The first was the Big Ten title ring. Yeah, well, it's the second ring, the real ring. The real ring. I mean, Big Ten title ring. Yeah, that means something, but we talking about that, the ring, the ring, the title ring. Justin Copeland says, I think next year team going to put people on notice for sure. We got a lot coming back. We're not going nowhere. That's a fact. And I think that's what a lot of Ohio State fans are hoping that, and they don't really know that we got a lot of dudes that are coming back that played in that game. Let's see. Issa Fromm says the real fans only care about beating OSU and then ending with the Big Ten title. Playoffs is just the cherry on top. We beat OSU. That's more important than anything else. Papa San says, regardless of what happened, Michigan had a great year. Anyone who doesn't see that isn't a real Michigan fan. Let's see. Let's Toast Media. Frankenmuth only good for Xmas. That's true. That's definitely true. But I ain't gonna front. I had a blast growing up in Frankenmuth. It's a small town, and me and my friends we would ride our bikes all around that town, like all over. They got woods and areas. It's a small town, so don't nobody really mess with you, and you can just kind of do what you want to for the most part. D Brown says our offense put a lot of stuff on tape for Georgia to think about. Yeah, they did. Ronnie Verdo says Georgia not going to want to keep hitting Hassan. They will wear down and then boom, Corum for a 60-yard TD. And that's a big point I'm gonna touch on. Michigan, Hassan Haskins is made for this type of game. He's made for this type of game. This wear a defense out type of game. He's built for this. And the season set up for him like this, where he's been getting heavier carries as the season went along. So dude is built for this. But not, and also now, because he's just a strong hard running back. He runs hard. He's gonna get you 2 yards when he should have got none. He's gonna get you 10 yards when he should have got 3. So that's the type of dude he is. And then with Donovan Edwards in the pass game, Corum speed, and also in the pass game, it's a lot. It's a lot. Simp Folio says, I don't think our offense put everything out. Gaddis playing